Hey guys, welcome back to Casually K9. I'm Casey here along with my sidekick, Katie.
Sidekick. I'm Kate.
Not a psychic, a sidekick.
Yeah, I know what you said.
I mean, you are a psychic with dogs though, for sure.
No, I'm not a psychic. I don't read their minds.
Au contraire.
Au contraire.
Is that a thing? Au contraire.
I don't know. I think I've heard like Puss in Boots say it before on Shrek. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Shrek.
Yeah. Happy Tuesday, guys.
Happy Tuesday. A lovely Tuesday to get outside and have a nice walk with your dog, if you have one.
If you're listening, I'm guessing.
Or a cat. If you have a cat,
walk your cat.
Get that cat outside.
I wonder how many people listening actually have a dog. Probably like 99.9%.
Yeah, I mean, I would think, but
maybe 100. If you don't have a dog and you listen,
or maybe they've had a dog at least one time in their life.
Okay, but like currently have a dog. If you do not currently have a dog and you listen to Casually K9, will you message me just because I'm curious?
What do you think about this?
Do you think is this making you not want a dog? Like, it sounds like too much work to own a dog, because it is a lot of work. I think that it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, a lot of work.
But like, it kind of should be sometimes. Like aspects of it. I think that sometimes people are just like, oh, I want a dog. And it's like, okay, like, love that for you.
I think we see it maybe as more work sometimes. Not that we like see it as work, but like we feel like we have to fill those obligations because we don't want to just have our dogs sitting in their own kennels all day. Like, we like to take them outside and go for walks and go have fun and go work with them and do those things. We like to keep their minds busy. Not everybody feels the need to do that.
And not only that, but like, I think about back in college, how much I wanted a dog, and thank goodness I didn't get one. Well, you were still in college when I got roadie, but like, I had a career and a job at that point. Dogs are so expensive.
Incredibly expensive.
It's like boarding, food, like good food.
Yeah. I mean,
like, how much money a month do we spend on dog food for just 2 dogs?
I honestly don't even want to know.
I don't know. That's probably bad.
I don't even want to know.
I don't want to know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't like spend a tremendous amount of money, but like, we spend enough for them to have good food.
Yeah. So I think of like some of our friends that have like 3 large dogs, 5 dogs. I'm like, help me, I'm poor.
I'm going to have to take out a mortgage to feed my crew.
Seriously. Otherwise, you're getting old Roy kibble. I'm gonna get you something to eat.
Go get yourself something to eat from the kitchen. Okay.
I don't even know how I got on this topic, but anyways, take it away, host.
Nope. Okay. Well,
nope.
I mean, this is a
casually. This is us casual.
This is a partnership here, so I might ask you to take it away sometimes.
This is a partnership.
Okay. Before we get into anything, I do have a Kate's take that I want to get to, and this is from Jackie.
Okay. Hi, Jackie.
Hey, Jackie. What's up? Jackie says, I'd love to know what your schedule with your own dogs looks like in a daily basis. She says she gets overwhelmed caring for one dog, so it's really interesting to me how you train multiple dogs while having 2 of your own. Great question.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So
it's a delicate balance.
But also, I feel like we have a really, really nice balance. Like,
yeah.
Especially, so let me give you 2 ways to answer it. Because it was one way when Casey used to work away from the house versus now us working together. It's different. I literally feel like our dogs live the best life ever. Like, I want to come back as our dogs in the future. But that's not because they're doing stuff all day long. So, for instance, when I was training by myself, at our old location, throughout the day, the dogs were obviously my responsibility as well. But I took it very much as, and Casey and I both talked about this, is we both want, at this point, 2 dogs. So we need to be on the same page of like understanding that me being home doesn't mean, so a lot of people still work from home even post-COVID. Like, a lot of our clients are like, yeah, we're still working from home. And I have to tell my owners, like, please don't treat it like you are a stay-at-home dog parent. And understand that it gives great flexibility for
100%.
things,
Yep.
but treat it like a normal job you would be leaving from the house. Again, within reason.
With more flexibility.
Yeah. So
course.
for instance, prior to Casey working with me full time, it was in the morning before he left for work. That was his role to get the dogs walked. Obviously, if the weather didn't allow or whatever, but it was kind of his thing, knowing that I would be doing midday care. Because if we were away from the house, one of us would have to come home for lunch anyways to get them pottied. Even if they could last the whole time, we have been owners since we've owned dogs that have had a midday break for the dog, just because we do have breeds that need more activity than a little bit in the morning and a little bit at night. So it works better for us to break it up. So he was always morning walk guy. And we kind of called it of like, we want them to at least get 20-ish minutes. That's not the longest walk ever, but it's way better than not getting one. And then after Casey would come back with them, they would either, you'd feed them, whatever, we'd be getting ourselves ready before we're starting our work days or before Casey was leaving. And then at that point, they would go back into their crates and I would start my training day and he would be gone for the rest of the day until coming back around dinner time. So I had our dogs pretty much in the crate, except for Birdie does come out a little bit more if I'm using her for something. This is both current and past when you weren't working with me full time, but would stay in their crate until lunchtime. And lunchtime is usually when I would obviously take my break. That's the time I spent with our dogs, whether it was just having them out in the backyard to run around and potty and do some play while I eat something. Or if they needed more activity, maybe I would take them on a shorter walk, but realistically, probably not. Like if we were going to do some sort of additional walk, we normally would do that like after dinner, do like a family walk or something like that. So I usually spend in the middle of the day, anywhere from, it could be 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on the workload with our training dogs and things like that. That is our dog's time that they're out. And that doesn't mean I'm training with them. Like realistically, when we first got Birdie, yes, that was like my pocket of times that I would do some more work with her. But now it's just literally like, if the weather's nice, we're hanging out under the pergola, the dogs are running around and playing. Otherwise, like currently we're taking a break from the training dogs right now. We're recording the podcast up in our kitchen and our dogs are laying on their bed sleeping. So it's just more like their time out. Yeah. And then I go back to work for the rest of the day. And so did Casey until, he started working with me. And we kind of call like post dinner time for the training room dogs, call that anywhere between 4:30 and 5:30, just depends on the day and the season. And after that, it is our family and our dog time. So you're going to kind of look at that as like, okay, I'm getting home from work or I'm ending my work day. And I know that I need to like get dinner going. If you have a dog that is still like busybody, that's a great time for place, or that's a great time to have them practice a sit stay on something. Our dogs are to the point where they just are like really trained dogs that now are just great in our lifestyle. Yeah. And we don't have to do as much like active training. That's not saying we don't work with them or do the things that like sometimes we'll, do a little fun training session, but honestly not really, to be honest. No. It's a lot of play.
It's a lot of just living in this house and our life. And
so I always think that like if we put all this pressure on ourselves to be like, okay, we are working a full-time job, a lot of our clients are parents as well and owning a dog, like we can create, especially if you're watching us doing board and trains, remember that is a snippet of the dog's life. Like I do not expect owners to go home and work with their dogs all day long like we do here. That's why I always tell like Casey, myself, and now Jen that's doing board and trains is like the last couple of days prior to go home, like keep it really realistic for like what they're going to get at home. Because if you're trying to do like so much with your dogs, because you're getting up, you got a puppy, and you've been working with introducing slip lead pressure. Then you're like, oh, I want to add an e-collar. Yeah, in the beginning, that takes a lot of work. But once you get to a point where it's like you can really just incorporate your dog's training into your lifestyle, it'll feel more attainable with your actual work schedule. So that's kind of the roundabout way. Now I would say that, like, again, there's some pockets of time where it's like if we have less training dogs and Casey's up doing video and I'm down in the kennel room, our dogs will be out with him. Or we'll be like, hey, I'm down in the kennel room, Casey's doing something out in the woods now. And it's like Casey's bringing our dogs out with him and I'm in the kennel room. It just depends kind of on how many dogs we have, what we have going on. But all of it is truly incorporating them into just our daily lives.
Yeah, 100%. And even if we do have a full crew in the kennel room, we very much go back to our dogs are in their kennels until we're done with our work day. And then we come out, we play, we have our dog time with them. Mm-hmm. The next day, we'll do the same thing. We do our walks in the mornings or whatever it is back in the kennels. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we'll bring them down with us. Yeah. If we're doing some active training stuff down there just to hang out. It's nice to have them have some exposure to some of the other dogs down there too. But we very much, like Kate said, incorporate it into our lifestyle. We're not going out of our way to do extra things with them because we did so much training with them in the beginning to prepare them for our lifestyle.
Yeah, and we definitely prioritize them. So it's not just like when we can. Like, it's rare that they don't get a walk every day, like once in a while. But I know
that's a part of the schedule. For sure.
Like it can get kind of easy of us being like, all right, well, now we have like property and stuff like that. So maybe like on a Sunday when it's just like, oh my gosh, we've been cranking all week and like we're pooped, we'll just do more like hang outside time with them, or Casey will get on the 4-wheeler and go have them like run with them on the trail. But like they do pretty much get a walk every single day, and that just starts their day off right of like, all right, now we're ready for chill time. And again, we have a 4 and 8-year-old now, so like they do decompress much quicker. So
especially, I mean, Rhodey's been chill now for a couple of years, but even Birdie, she's just like, as she's gotten older in age, she just kind of falls right into this like chill mindset. That's we don't,
She's so cute.
Yeah, she is. Where is she right now?
I don't know. Probably being
Look
cute.
at that cat right there.
I have a bone to pick with that cat.
Yeah.
I'm scared of my cat. Was there any more Kate's takes?
No, that was
awesome.
That was all your thoughts on that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty self-explanatory. I think that we kind of got our point across as to we just make it a part of our lifestyle.
Yeah. And good question, Jackie. I know that you can get a lot of like any of us, even sometimes I think about it of like, oh, I don't take Rhodey to go do XYZ much anymore, where like Birdie's always kind of our go-to dog to go places. Like Casey actually just ran to Home Depot and like none of the training dogs are ready. And if we're going to Home Depot, we're kind of like, well, we should bring a dog because it's like you can
just mix it in with an outing.
Yeah. And none of our training dogs are quite ready because it's all a new crew. So Casey took Birdie and she gets back and it's hilarious. I was making lunch and she just goes and lays on the carpet and just passes out just from like that quick trip, but it was just like mental work for her. So that's another way that we'll incorporate them too. Is I will say, and sometimes I'm slightly jealous of this, is Casey gets a little bit more time with them now that he's working with us full time. But like I got way more time in the last handful of years with them. So like I get a little like, oh, I wish I could be the one like romping around in the woods with them, and Casey's in the kennel room. But we find our balance for sure. But it's a nice balance between training dogs and our dogs. But our dogs feel so different than spending time with the training dogs. It feels like even though we love working with all the dogs, it's so nice coming into like, we always look at each other, and even though neither of our dogs are perfect, and we're just like, we love our dogs so much. They're so easy to live life with.
They very much, and we've molded them.
They're so naughty,
we've
but
molded
they're so
them this
good
way,
too.
but they fit our lifestyle so well.
And they just like vibe so well together.
Especially Rhodey on this property and like the life that we provide that dog.
Yeah, he's just like so peaceful
that dude,
here now. It's cool.
Unbelievable.
And now we're getting off tangent, but yeah.
Well, anyways, before we go any further, I know we're a couple episodes away. So we're 3 episodes away from this, but we are approaching our 10th episode, and we want to do a giveaway. What that looks like, I don't know.
Casey gets all these ideas, and then he's like, Kate, what should the details be?
We're going to do a giveaway of some custom K9 merch. Probably like a maybe a sweatshirt or two.
Maybe a canine leash.
Canine leash.
Maybe a quick 15-minute quick Q&A
just to
with
thank
me or
you
something.
for all the people who have been listening, you know, especially as we've gotten this thing off the ground. We're figuring out how this works.
So you have to be listening to be able to be a part of the giveaway.
Absolutely.
Like,
we're not going to post this on socials. We're not going to do anything of that. This is going to be strictly podcast.
So we'll tell you how to, you know, be a part of the running. Was that what you call it?
Yeah, we may ask you
how to submit.
Yeah, we may ask you like a question or ask you
Through the link.
Yeah.
We'll get the details and we'll tell you on the next episode. So we'll tell you, because this will be episode 7 and you're listening to episode 7. We will tell you on episode 8 what the details are.
That way you have 2 weeks to
submit.
So I don't know what it's going to be at. We'll kind of brainstorm and we'll give you guys more info next week.
Yes. Can we go back to talking about how I'm afraid of our cat?
Yeah, but you know what? Like,
I know you're going to defend her.
This whole afraid of the cat thing. So
I'm not actually afraid of her.
Guys, she is, I don't know if it's with age, but she's 4 years old now. She'll be 5 in November.
It's when she turned 4.
She is a little biatch.
Yep.
When it comes to doing her nails, mainly nails. Like she has all of her claws, so we clip them with like a nail clipper.
And she's usually been pretty dang good about it.
Works very well if she's not mauling us.
Now it's like every star has to align for her not to be terrifying.
Y'all should have saw it yesterday. So we did 3 paws. I'm holding her. We
have her in the bitch burrito, which is wrapping her up in a towel. Full disclosure,
we don't train cats. So we train dogs. We do nail stuff. We do nail desensitization. We are not cat trainers. So I'm holding her. And we've learned now that she cannot handle the nail stuff alone. So I'm holding her. Caitlin has the nail clippers, and we have a towel over her head.
She's growling.
And she's growling. She's doing the whole... Yeah, she's got her nails out. She's hissing at us.
Like, this is all new.
We're like, what the hell are you...
Well, also, Casey's always told people, and I'm like, stop telling people this immediately, like now.
Yeah, well, I've stopped now.
He keeps saying,
she keeps hurting others.
A cat or a human person. She just loves people.
Used to be.
And she always did, but like, all of a sudden, she turns 4, and if people are touching her when she doesn't want to be touched, and it's literally like the softest little touch, she will swat you in the face. She will bite your hands. She will scratch you.
We had to bring up a situation. We had a person, actually a couple people checking in on Ducky when we were on our van trip. This was when we realized... Like,
no one's ever going to want to watch her again.
Well, this is when we realized, like, okay, like, you need to check yourself because we're paying for people to come over and people are being so nice to come over to take care of you, and you're being a little devil.
Don't you wish we could explain that to her, though? Well, we had
our friends over. I would just scold her.
Yeah, we had friends over for dinner one night. We were playing games, and one of my friends is like a major cat person. Like, she loves her cat, like knows that cats have attitude and stuff, but typically, like, people that like cats know that cats are going to be sassy. Like, we expect sass. She's always been sassy, but she's gotten kind of mean. So my friend's like giving her a little pet and stuff. And like prior to this, she was acting like she wanted attention. She swatted my friend in the face and almost scratched her eye.
Yeah, right above her eye.
Yeah, has
left
a nail
nice mark
above her eye. And I'm like,
we're like, oh my God.
Gosh, this
we're
is terrible.
So sorry.
Yeah.
Bad cat.
So anyways, she scares me when we do her nails now. And Casey's like, Kate, just get the last paw done. And I'm like, Casey, I literally can't. She is growling.
It was her sensitive paw too.
And swatting my hand so hard, like giving scratch marks. So then I get a snack.
No.
Yes.
No, I got the snack.
No, I got myself a snack to sit down and take a break and
she was chilling next to you.
And Casey thinks this is a great idea. Kate's sitting down for the first time in
Hold on, what
6
was your
hours.
What was your snack? Just so they know.
Yogurt and fruit and granola. Every day, I have it every single day.
Yep.
So I'm sitting down to eat this snack, and Casey's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go grab the nail clippers." And I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Well, I saw her being calm right next to Kate, and I was like, "Now or never. Like, we have to do this because her nails are long, and she's putting them in our couch and
in
other
our
places
skin.
that they
Our skin.
Our skin. Yeah. So I went and got the nail clippers, and I have her sitting, if you could picture this, I have her sitting on my lap, and I have like her chest and her 2 front paws.
She looks cute, but scary.
We have this little spoon that I don't even know where we got this freaking spoon from. Probably took it from a restaurant at some point.
No, I had those spoons since college. They're a 2-pack.
It's smaller than like a regular spoon. So we took that spoon and had yogurt on it, and I'm sitting there holding the spoon with yogurt on it so she can lick the yogurt off. And Caitlin's got her paw, and she's clipping her nails.
I clipped them as fast as I possibly could, and then at the end, no fight, and at the end, she had Greek yogurt on her forehead, and we're like, it's fine, it's all fine.
You're done. Go.
So from now on, we're gonna get off Greek yogurt until that doesn't work. And then this little devil yesterday,
I don't know why we didn't think of that earlier though, because she's such a food cat. She'll try to steal food off of our plates,
which she did yesterday.
Like, literally yesterday.
Oh, I was getting to that, sir.
Oh, okay. Go.
You're so excited about it. I'm thawing out chicken for my dinner because Casey wasn't going to be here for dinner last night. And so I was thawing it out, and I ran down to the kennel room. I was doing something down there, and I get a snap from Casey that is my chicken.
It was
broken open.
Raw chicken breast.
And she ate it.
She ate through the little plastic casing that was basically around it.
She's so proud of herself.
And typically we don't have a problem with this. If it's frozen, she won't try to get it. And it was frozen. That's why we were thawing it. And she had a little snack.
Yep, she had at it. Anyways, she's laying like a sweet little baby angel right now. But
and you know what? That's what it is 85% of the time. We
just need to do her nails even more often.
Look, she's so cute.
She's so cute. Okay, anyways, enough about Ducky.
Yeah.
That little Sour Patch Kid.
I was going to talk about something today, but I think we may need more time. No, let's do it. Okay. So you wrote this down on my list of topics recently. Do you want to do this one today?
I don't know. I don't know which one you're talking about. Oh.
Do you want to do that one today?
No, that one will take way too long.
I'll save that for a different one.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, cliffhanger,
guys.
It'll be a different one. It's just an interesting one.
Let's briefly, because this one will be quick. Let's talk about how, since people are asking us about our schedules with our dogs and stuff, let's talk about how you didn't like Birdie in the beginning. Because we briefly mentioned that, and then we said that we were going to talk about it. So I will give the background of how Birdie came into our lives, and then you can tell your perspective of why you didn't like her. Or like you weren't, it's not that you didn't like her. Why? I'll let you explain that. So long story short, we were living in our old house, and we knew we eventually wanted to have a second dog. But we knew...
So we had Rhodey and Ducky at this point.
Yeah, so we had our dog and our cat. And we knew we wanted to add another dog into the mix at some point. We weren't in a hurry, but we also were not looking to do the puppy stage with Rhodey being the dog that he is. I didn't want to have a dog that would fully take me away from him, but also I wanted to kind of have just... We had to be more particular when adding a dog into the mix with him. And my goal was to get them to coexist. That's all I cared about at this time. And luckily they've shaped much more of a relationship than that. But we started fostering dogs. If you guys are ever like thinking like you want to add to the mix or even just get a dog, if you can foster and potentially foster to adopt, to find a dog that works well for you, if you want to go the adoption route.
Try the foster fail thing. Yeah.
What?
Foster fail.
Yeah, but like we were fostering to adopt. We were fostering and it just happened. Like we were fostering because we wanted to potentially find another dog.
Yeah. Are you telling the story about how she came out the transit and everything?
How we had another dog first. So
okay.
Slow your roll. So we fostered this male pitty mix, another like reddish color, but didn't look anything like Rhodey. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. So
oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. It ended up becoming a
client.
Yeah.
And
we fostered him.
Yes, for like we did like a foster week of basically pro bono training. I did to see if we'd potentially want him or to help him get adopted. So long story short, we quickly realized these two would definitely not be a mix. Not that anything happened. It's just this male was also very like particular about certain things. I was not about his behaviors in the crate. I was like, I know I could work through this, but like, I don't really want to. Like, I wanted to be pickier about our next dog.
We don't have to. We don't need to.
And then like, I'm going to be totally honest, aesthetically also, I still think he's absolutely adorable, but I'm like, he looks like a less... I don't know. He's like, it looked like I was trying to have another roadie where it's like, they looked alike, but they looked nothing alike. I don't know how to explain it.
Just a little different look.
Yeah, just like not what I was looking for in like the mix. And then I realized like, I'm not sure male is going to be the right way to go. He was a smaller male. So I was kind of thinking like a smaller, less dominant male. Anyways, we found him a great home with a K9 graduate. And he's absolutely adorable and doing very well in his family. Yeah. Then thinking, okay, one of my friends at this time, she's also another trainer, is the person that brings dogs into transport for a local rescue. And I was like, hey, keep your eye out. And this is when I quickly realized like what I wanted aesthetically versus what our family needed was completely different. So I was like, looking for like a big male, like I'd love like a white dog mixed with maybe like a boxer or like a American bulldog.
And
like,
now thinking back at what
gosh.
that wouldn't have worked.
That wouldn't have worked at all.
That wouldn't have worked with Rhodey.
No. So these things happen for a reason. Yeah, she gets this picture of this little white dog and it looks like it could be a boxer puppy. A little janky boxer puppy, but like she's like, it's coming up on transport. Like, do you want to foster this puppy?
We should put the little picture.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
of her like
somewhere.
Maybe on our social media when this comes out.
Yeah, and it's just a picture of her in a crate, and she looks like a puppy, and she looks bigger in the picture than what she looks in person. Which every single person tells us that when they meet her in person is like, oh my gosh, I thought Birdie was way bigger than what she is, and so. This dog's name was Hope, and she looks like a crusty little
scraggy dog,
maybe boxer puppy. And I'm like, yes, I want to foster her. So we go, long story short, to pick her up on transport. And how this goes is it's volunteers, and she came from Louisiana.
Yep. And
these people had a minivan full of puppies. And little Hope was the last one to come off the van. And I'm thinking...
Meanwhile, there were probably...
Tons.
15 dogs that came off.
It was
because,
wild.
a lot of them were small dogs, too. So they had a couple in kennels together. And
some litters together.
It was quite the situation.
Yeah, it was wild. And they kept saying, well, Hope needs a little extra time with people. I'm like, oh, boy. And when I show up to these things, I don't really like say like I train dogs, I work with dogs, like, so I'm reading between the lines. I'm like, this puppy doesn't like to be handled because they have to do microchip there. I'm like, they know that she's going to be a handful. I'm like, this is why they're waiting for her last, because they're worried she's going to be a sass. I'm like, perfect. Of course I choose this one.
Yeah.
And so
that's what happened to us.
So she gets off of the van, and I'm like, I see her and I immediately think she's cute, but I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, like this thing needs a bath. Like,
she was a little rough looking.
Yeah, she looks so rough. Her nails were so long, and I'm just kind of like,
her teeth had a little like green on them. She was only 5 months,
6-ish, probably.
5-6 months old at this point.
But like, she did not look good.
She had a bump on her head. She was maybe hit with a pipe or something.
That's what they told us, and who knows? But I will say the people that drove
wasn't she
her
resource guarding their bed or
oh my
their
gosh,
couch or something too?
So she was the dog that was living with them. So I think that's also why they had her come out last, is she was the one that they emotionally had a hard time like letting go.
Yep.
But she's like, yep, she doesn't like people coming up to her where she's on the couch. And I'm like, oh my God, this puppy needs to get off the couch immediately. Like, I know all this stuff, and I'm thinking in my head, we are not keeping this puppy. I need to get this thing in, cleaned up, trained up a little bit, and out of here. That's what I was thinking when they're telling me all this stuff. I'm like, that's just not going to work. So we bring her home, and Casey's like, she's going in the basement. I'm like,
yo. I just want to give a little disclaimer. We had a finished basement, so it was just a regular part of our house, but it was a little cooler down there.
No big window, just a little window.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of natural light, but
I get it. We can't put it in the kennel room, we couldn't put her in the kennel room. We weren't going to put her by Rhodey when it's like, who knows what this puppy potentially has. Like, she looked grimy.
Yeah,
so
she needed a wash.
I just like to
she
say
needed
it
to settle
because
down.
it makes him seem like, because if you know Casey, he's not like that with Birdie. He's like,
you know what? When I first saw her, she was just not a dog that I thought that I would like. And it was more aesthetics. Like,
yes,
of course, now she's my little sweetheart.
She's so,
and
like, we think she's so cute.
We couldn't
now.
imagine not having this little BB in our home.
But she looked like a hound dog when she was little, and like,
yeah,
that's just not for us. So,
on what she has in her.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys her breed after this, because so we were again thinking this was a boxer puppy. I immediately, when we got her out of the crate, at transport, mind you, they could not get her microchipped. She's trying to bite them, thrashing. I'm like, don't worry about it. Like, I'll bring her to the vet. The vet can do it. Like, let me get some.
Oh, they were trying to do it right there.
Yes, right there.
Oh, I don't remember that.
They did it with all the puppies. She was the only one they couldn't do it on.
Yeah.
So
you should also tell about like the people, like, like they were literally smoking in the van, like on the way up.
I don't want to like make. It was very nice
Very
of
nice
them
people,
to do that, but it was a whole vibe. It was so she stunk like cigarettes.
It was
like
a different vibe.
It was a whole thing. So these puppies, there was some stress going on for sure.
Yeah.
So we bring her home. She couldn't get microchipped. Her nails are terrible. Her teeth at this age are green.
She was pretty much eating garbage in the streets of somewhere in Louisiana. She's from down south.
Yeah.
Sometimes
she has a little clip on her ear that looks like it was cut.
Yeah. Sometimes when we talk for her, we'll give her a southern accent.
I've never, but you have. Yeah. So anyways, the other thing aesthetically that like I also couldn't totally wrap my head around, still sometimes I even pick on her for it, but I think this was one of the reasons Casey could not, was she has a tail that goes straight up in the air, which when she's walking it looks cute when it's like flapping, but that makes it so that her rear end is completely exposed, and we've always had,
and just saying, you can see her butthole
like so prominently
right there,
like it's looking you in the eye. It's like you've got, I just tried to do it. I put like I closed one eye and I'm bugging out one eye because she's white.
And also like, I think at that point, like
everything was inflamed.
Okay.
Sorry,
well, no, yeah. I was going to say like we're just not into like houndy type dogs. And like
for us, yes.
I saw, and at that point in like when she was like growing up, for me personally, I saw a lot of hound in her aesthetically. And I was like, I don't want a hound dog. Like we're not hound dog people.
Yes. Which she's not a hound dog, but she just kind of looked it. She was lanky and weird. And anyway, so Casey was just like not that interested. And she was also not quiet in the crate initially.
Yeah.
And that's totally normal with puppies and stuff. But I think that he thought potentially it was going to be worse than what it was. Long story short, we give her a bath. We have her for 2 weeks and I'm getting attached. Like, I'm spending a lot of time with this puppy because like I was like, hey, it's a great example.
She was your little project.
Yeah, she was my project.
Katie's project.
I was so obsessed with working with her because I think like at that point too, like I was still not that much newer, but
every hour or minute that you had like free time, so to say, away from training like other people's dogs, you were like scheming on like, okay, what am I going to do today with Birdie? We're going to do this.
Oh, her name was still Hope at this point.
Hope, yeah.
But I started calling her Birdie.
Yeah, we had a name picked out.
Because I knew that like if we got a female dog, I wanted to name it Birdie. This is before, like, this was even probably like when we got Rhodey. I knew I wanted Rhodey after Rhode Island, and I just loved the name Birdie. And so the more and more that I was around her, I'm like, this is Birdie. She makes these tweety noises and she still does it to this day. Bird. And I love it so much. It literally sounds like a bird. And I'm like, this is Birdie. And so Casey heard me start calling her that. And he's like, oh no. Like,
yeah. And you know, at this point, like, okay, so we're 2 weeks basically on the verge,
make a decision.
Coming up on 2 weeks of her living with us, and like I had very much set like the precedent in my head of like, if this happens, it happens, but like as of right now, I don't love this dog. And I think it was more so I feel really bad about it because she's so sweet.
And perfect for us.
She's grown into just a little sweetie, but I think it was more aesthetically for me. I just didn't envision us with a little girl dog that looked like this. And it wasn't anything like against her. It was just like in my mind, it wasn't what I pictured. So
what did you picture?
I honestly pictured more of like a shepherd or something like
Really?
that. Yeah.
Oh.
And that was just
I never knew that.
Again, this is like a thing playing out in my head. So like when I saw her, and again, we'll post the picture like on our social when this podcast comes out.
I'm sure a lot of people have seen it because I've posted it before.
Like you'll see, I mean, she was a little scraggly looking dog. I mean, she needed some love, some care, attention. She needed training.
Some good food.
Yeah, some quality nutrients to help her grow. And I remember the day that we decided to keep her. Like, here's the thing with Kate, guys, too. Like, when she wants something, and I'm not saying this in like a bad way, like you're not going to just like, oh, I just want a Ferrari today or something like that. Like, but when you want something that you know that you can get, if
or
you
attain, or
like, but you have to like not that you have to talk to me first, but you want to talk to me first, like get me on the same page. It's it's just the way that we do things. Mm-hmm. She has this way of approaching me, and I know I've known her for many, many years now, and I know exactly what she's doing. And I literally, if I'm like working on something, or she's like, "Hey, babe," and I literally look up and I'm like,
"Oh God,"
because I know it's something like she wants to do or get or whatever. And I knew it was about this dog. And I remember I got home from work. It was a Friday.
I cried.
And what did I say initially?
You said no.
I said no.
And you're like, no, I really don't think that this is the dog
no.
for us.
She started crying, and I was like, okay, we can keep her. We can keep her. I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? She's fine. Like we're gonna give her a nice place to live. And I was that person who was like, I'm not gonna like you. I'm not gonna love you. And now look at us.
It was kind of like a "this is your dog" type of situation at first. Like, okay, but like remember, like this is your project. Like it's not because with Rhodey, like I also kind of threw that just in his lap as well. But he wanted a dog, and he aesthetically loved the look of Rhodey.
Yeah.
So like he was a little bit more eager to like want to work with him on his training and stuff like that. So with Birdie initially, it was kind of like, hey, like just. Not that I'm not going to help with stuff, but like I don't want to like go do a ton of stuff with her in her training at first. He ended up obviously very much doing stuff with her.
And I was also thinking like selfishly, like I don't want to take time away from my dog Rhodey to be with this other dog. And I feel like such a dick saying that because like,
but that's not what happened.
No, it's not what happened. She quickly. And when I say quickly, probably within like a couple of weeks was like...
Not even.
Was like our, my best bud.
Yeah. We took her to... Okay, so this is where I could tell you started to like her.
We took her to that brewery.
Well, no, before that, we took her to the pet store to pick out her first toy with us and get her name tag.
I love watching
and you're like, I'll walk her. Because normally it was always like...
Let's post that too. You have that video?
Of course.
There's a little llama she picked out.
Yeah, see? Now you... So Casey's typically always like, I'll walk Rhodey. And...
She was so freaking cute walking through that store with that little llama.
We handed her two... Oh my God, so
picture
cute.
it.
We picked out two toys, and she picked, of course, the one that was like the cutest one to pick out, a llama. And she's carrying it through the store, her tail happy as can be. And I totally sound like a dog owner right now of like, you can just tell she's like, this is my life now. These are my parents. These are my people. We walk up to the checkout. The lady says hi to her or whatever. She drops her llama and looks at her like such a birdie face that we now know that like she turns her head really quick. And then it was like 3 days later, because we started doing a lot of exposure stuff with her immediately because we didn't do it right with Rhodey.
We wanted to do it a little better.
Yeah. So we brought her to a brewery a couple of days later as well. And she was just like hanging with you, like such a fun little puppy to have around.
She very much had me wrapped around her little paw. I mean, so fast. And I was not mad about it, of course. But like, I very much approached it as like, once we got past the like, okay, she's here to stay, then it's like, all right, well, I'm very happy that we can help this dog and like provide the care that she needs to have a really
awesome life.
Really happy life.
And we took her on the boat when she was still just a foster as well. And Casey was kind of like, I don't want to bring her. And I'm like, let's just bring her. And then like
again, I was selfish. I was like, I don't want to take away time from Ro.
But Rhodey was with us.
And Rhodey's with us too.
Yeah, he was with us. And I think that also something that really made you start to love her, which it sounds kind of crazy, but like 2.5 months, 3 months in, like seeing what she brought out in Rhodey, we were like, thank goodness we made this decision, because
I'll never forget the first time that
he was so scared when the first time that they played together.
Yep.
And I was nervous, but like I'm so good at reading Rhodey's body language, body language, that I was just like, I need to be aware. And when I say he was so scared, it's just like, again, Rhodey's not a dog social dog. So like when you have a dog,
I was more nervous about what
he would potentially do to Birdie.
what Birdie could do.
Yeah. And they had a really successful, he kept it short and sweet, like little chase, pounce back and forth, play bow, play session. And you would swear it was like Christmas morning for Birdie, because she...
Oh, it was Christmas morning for us too. We're like,
know.
Holy shit, we hit the jackpot.
Totally. But like she had been like longing for him to like pay attention to her. Like she would like do her little like roll on her back and like stare at him like, hey, are you gonna like me yet? And so they're just really cute, and thank goodness we kept her, because she's seriously like, I mean, she's quirky and she's got her weird stuff, but like she's such a perfect dog for us.
She's such a different dog than Rhodey, and they have come so far in their relationship. Like we've certainly had times where it wasn't always like a great thing. Like, you know, Rhodey's had little moments. Birdie's even had little moments. Not as many, but you know, but their relationship now, if you look back at, obviously this is over a couple of years now of us doing the right things, of making sure that we advocate for everybody's space. We are very much aware of like which dog is in which spot. If Rhodey runs up to her and like is a little rude, because sometimes he can do that, we're very much like, get out of here, Rhodey. Like, you know, you do your thing. Birdie was doing her thing over here. We need to advocate for her space at that moment.
Yeah, like what Casey means by run up her and be rude, he doesn't just run up and like jump on her. What he'll do is like, she'll be sniffing something in the yard and he'll see her curious about something and he'll come and like knock her out of the way to sniff it. And it's like, dude, like that's so rude.
Totally.
Like such
rude,
a bully brother.
Big bro.
Yeah. So it's stuff like that. But like, again, at the end of the day, like, but we would do this even if we had 2 dogs that were quote unquote no problems ever. It's like we have management in our home. We crate them both when unattended. Like they're not loose in the house together. We feed them separately. We give them treats separately. We have them get affection from our family members separately. So it's just a matter of like, there's so much respect and understanding now between them, but because of our extreme, you know, just we're always prepared to make sure to give them the information that they need so that they're successful. But yeah, that's it is amazing now. What we thought was going to be short, but not.
Their relationship now is, if you look back and like I said, how far it's come and what we can do now with them by just like, you know, like hop in the car together. Let's go for, like, it's just, they walk next to each other. They sometimes they'll play with each other. They don't always play with each other. We don't expect them to. There's not that age anymore. They don't need to, but they'll go out and they'll like, you know, go sniff around an area together, or be like, you want to go look over the hill together?
Like you can tell they're like on the same page with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they're just like 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah. So. But that was the story of Casey not really liking Birdie. But to give you a quick rundown of her breed, so primarily she is a Shar-Pei, which is where her sass comes from. So Shar-Pei, she has Italian Greyhound, which is her long, lanky legs. She has English Lab, which I think helps with a little bit of her bulkiness of her head. She has a little bit of pity. She has a little bit, and this is again no offense, but this was the breed I was like, I don't really want her to have this in her, but she does. She has a little bit of Beagle in her. She has a little bit of Chow, and then I'm probably, she's 8 different breeds. So how many did I list? I'm missing some.
I think you got them all.
Okay. Well, that's the main. Shar-Pei is her main, 46%, and then it kind of breaks down from there. But the least is the Beagle. which is
You can, even though you say she doesn't have a hound in her, when she does bark
Beagle is a
sometimes,
hound,
she
but-
does that like, she does this like little howl bark. It's
we're like our little hound
actually,
dog.
it's really funny.
Yeah.
But
Anyways, okay, should we jump to our? It's probably getting a little bit longer now
Yeah.
because we are the most not brief people ever.
well,
So-
it gives you a very detailed description as to how that whole thing went down.
Yes, and basically just turned into us talking about how much we love Birdie.
Yeah.
So peeves and highlights. What is your peeve of the week?
Oh man, you know what? I really don't have any big.
It doesn't have to be big. It can be small.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I have a peeve.
Oh, okay.
I have a big peeve.
Oh, it's a big peeve. I don't have any, but now it's big. Okay, what?
I was cutting the grass 3 days ago, and this is mind you a brand new lawnmower that we bought in August of last year because the other one took a shit.
I feel like he bought the cheapest one he could find, though.
No.
Okay. Continue.
Cutting the grass. Again, we haven't used it that much, and the freaking back tire just falls off, sheared off. I'm looking at it. I'm like in disbelief, and I go to look online because I'm like, well, I'm not going to obviously buy a whole new lawnmower. I'm just going to buy.
I would have, if you guys remember the first
Just
episode.
going to buy a new tire. Well, I mean, if you hear the price of this thing, you might as well buy a new lawnmower. A plastic tire. Again, this is like a self-propelled lawnmower, so the back two tires I think are self-propelled. So all it has like this special little liner in it, so the gear can grab it and propel it. $50 for this little ass tire, and I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" So it's under some sort of warranty still. So I had to send an email yesterday to the manufacturer asking about, hey, is this under warranty? I hope to dear God it is because I've never heard of this before. So that was my peeve.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a peeve. That would totally peeve me off.
Because then I had to mow the hill. So we have this hill. I had to mow the hill with 3 tires on a lawnmower because I had to finish it. I'm like, I can't leave this like this. Anyways, now go ahead.
My peeve is buying produce and 2 days later it's rotten when I go to get it out of the fridge.
Oh my God.
Like the price
Waste of money.
The price of asparagus. It's been asparagus lately, and I don't know. You know what? I don't think that we do it right. Like I remember my mom
Well,
always
how are we
with
supposed to do
asparagus.
it?
When my mom buys asparagus, she cuts the ends off and then she puts it in a cup of water in the fridge. Like puts the part that she cut so the tips are facing up.
We want to know from you guys how to do asparagus correctly because we are
Not how to cook it, 'cause I
striking
love how we
out.
cook it, but
How to maintain it.
how to
before we
maintain
cook
it for more than a day and a half.
Yeah.
So literally Casey buys 2 stalks of asparagus, which is not that, like we will eat that quickly, but sometimes it lasts and sometimes it doesn't. I have noticed that the thicker asparagus for us does not last as long as the thinner stuff. So
Can you return produce if it's bad?
well,
if
I already
goes bad
threw it
after,
away,
like, a
and we
day?
should have, but
I'm gonna
it's
ki-
such a drive for us.
I'm
That's
gonna
the
start
thing.
keeping receipts though, but it just
It's like almost like, is it worth driving all the way back? Yeah, it probably is,
Yeah.
but it's also frustrating.
It is
So that was my
super
peeve. Is I
frustrating.
went to go cook asparagus last night, and both stalks are just rotten.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, good thing we have a backup. I guess I'm eating green beans 2 days in a row. But
got a
so
lot of
that was
green
my
beans.
peeve.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah.
Waste of money.
So annoying. What's your highlight?
I would say highlight of the week is well, first, I mean, everybody has busy weeks, but we had a very good busy week. We've got a new crew of dogs in right now, and I like every single one of them. I don't always love every single dog that we have. Mm-hmm. And
I'm still getting to know all of them. So
Yeah.
I get to know them in a different way. The training,
Yeah.
I like all of the dogs 100%. And I know why you like all of them. They're all very manageable from a standpoint of like taking them out for the first outs. They're now
Make
quiet
my
in the
life
crate.
easier.
They're clean in the crates. So I know why you love them. But 2 of them training wise are not the easiest dogs in the world to train.
Yep.
And that's okay. That's why they're here. But yeah, I very much like all of the dogs that we have right now.
Yeah. What's your
Just-
highlight?
My highlight. So what's your highlight? You just said that we had a busy week.
No, I said I like it, the dogs.
Oh, that's your highlight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that not a good highlight?
If I guess
you
my
just acted
question,
like it wasn't.
No, I guess my question, and I'm not calling you out or anything, but like, is that actually your highlight? Because like, I feel like your highlights of the week are things that don't have to do with dogs. So it's like, are you just picking that because that's our business and you're being nice? I mean, we do like the dogs, but I feel like your highlight is always everything outside of.
Sometimes when you're in my position, you hold your breath a little bit until you see how, like you said, how manageable the dog can be for those, call it ancillary things. They're not active. Like when I say active, like we're always training, like everything in the kennel room, outside the kennel, whatever, but not like active working with the dog. Mm-hmm. When they're manageable in that way, it makes my life 10 times easier.
Okay.
So yes.
That's your highlight.
That's my highlight.
Okay, cool. I would say my highlight is, so we had a couple of days off, getting back into routine. Not just like our routine at home and stuff like that, but it feels so good, like getting back into our like nutrition routine and stuff like that. I was feeling last week just so like blah, like so bloated,
Blah.
so like, I don't know, fatigued and like my energy. No, I'm not your monkey. He does this thing all the time. That's gonna be my peeve. Never mind. At one point. So yeah, I just getting back into routine and feeling like, I don't know, just more energized, and I don't know, I just felt healthy this week, if that makes sense.
Is that a highlight?
Oh my gosh. Yes, that's my highlight. I feel good this week.
Oh, okay. Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Feeling good is a highlight.
Good. I love feeling good.
Same.
Good. Okay, we're going to end this one. Again.
You know what I'm craving?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like a
Custard?
flurry. Whoa.
Shut up.
Don't tell me to shut up. That's mean.
What kind?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
okay,
Lord.
I cannot believe your peeve wasn't the ice cream toppings of the game. Talk about that real quick. Can you just ask me what kinds? Because I was going to say I want like an Oreo cheesecake flurry.
Oh, shut up. Sorry. No, I didn't mean that too.
I've told you to shut up on an episode, so now we're even.
We're at my parents' house recently, and we were playing this game. And it was, by the way, my grandma was there, and this was...
That's the highlight of my week.
That was... My grandma was like... I don't know why. Why was it so funny? Like
it was so funny because she's kind of like a... Like, and I say this with love, but she can kind of be a grouchy person sometimes. Yeah. She's like in chronic pain. She's got a lot of health stuff going on. But she was just like hilarious and like saying the funniest things. So this game is, okay, we were supposed to wrap this up. This is just going to be a long episode. We're going to keep going. Fine.
Keep going. Give it to me.
This is what happened. So we're playing this game called Double Ditto.
Yep.
And long story short is the person that has the card is reading, and here's the question. It's name things that are hot. You have 15 seconds when you flip over the thing to write two things down. You just have to write two things.
Everybody around the circle writes two things on their card of what they believe are hot.
Yep. And you kind of want to think of like, know the audience of the people that you're working with or you're playing with. So we're going around, and I think that I said like things that are hot. I think I put like the sun and like peppers.
Yeah. Did you say that you want to put things that other people are going to put?
That you think other people are going to put.
Yeah. Okay.
We get to his grandma, and we go things that are hot. She goes, hot man, like a hot man. And I'm like, oh my gosh, grandma, that's such a great answer. I thought I should put that, but I didn't think anyone else would put it. But we're just cracking up because like that's so not her.
Her sass was very funny that night. It was really humorous to play.
And then another one was, this is where Casey got very upset with me, like truly looked disappointed in my life decisions.
So anyways, you get points by if you match.
If you go ditto. The
two things on your card match with, it could be anybody around the table who wrote either one of those things. If at the end of everybody went around and said there are two things, you have two of them, you get full points. If you only have one of them, you only get 1 point. So the goal is to write
to match people.
Things that other people are going to write. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My grandma wrote hot man.
She lost, but in my book, she won.
She won.
So the next one was ice cream toppings. And the way that I was answering it, knowing the people around the table, is like, I'm going to put generic stuff because most of the people around the table, like I was thinking his grandma, I was thinking his dad, like they're going to put the things that like
Well, also, like, you've seen what my dad eats on his ice cream too.
Yes.
So I understand why you did this.
I'm thinking like I'm going to put really basic stuff, but that doesn't mean I eat it. So I just put hot fudge and sprinkles, thinking like a lot of people will put that because that's known everywhere. Well, Casey strategically put what I would put.
I literally looked at Caitlin because, guys, she's an ice cream connoisseur.
Yes,
okay,
love ice
she would
cream.
eat ice cream every day
If I could.
if we could. And so I looked at her. I'm like, oh, easy. Like, I know what she likes. Okay, I write down Oreo and cheesecake pieces. She loves Oreo, and you've always get cheesecake pieces. I'm like, winner, chicken dinner, full points. I'm literally writing down the points already.
He's so confident.
Yeah.
Goose eggs, 0 points.
0 points.
Because no one put Oreo.
So she goes to read off her card,
and
fudge and sprinkles, and my jaw hit the floor. I was like, what?
Yeah, he
what
thought
are you
he knew me.
about?
He thought he knew me.
So then I told her, that's all you're allowed to have for ice cream toppings now, fudge and sprinkles. You don't
He's like,
believe in
I'm gonna
Oreo and cheesecake pieces anymore? Well, guess what? You don't get
I'm
to
going
have
to order
it.
you fudge and sprinkles. I'm like, no.
Yep.
But yeah, so now I know literally answer what I think Casey's going to answer because, gosh, he looked at me like straight disappointment. You'd swear I'd tell him I ran over his cat because he was so mad.
I know how much of an ice cream connoisseur you are, and I was like, you did not just say that. Like, why? Why did you say that?
I don't know. I'm sorry. But okay, guys.
Anyways,
so
yes, to
we're
wrap
all
it
over
up,
the place.
If you'd like to participate in Kate's Takes, head over to the podcast page on the website and send us your awesome Kate's Takes. If you want to DM Caitlin some crazy questions to ask me or us or whatever, go ahead and DM to the the K9 Instagram page. Mm-hmm. Again, stay tuned for a couple episodes. Next week, we'll have some more details about what our giveaway is going to be for our 10th episode. It'll be in the podcast, so exclusive to y'all. And we're going to give some stuff away.
And just so you know, he only says y'all on the podcast. He never does outside of the podcast. So that is just for our Casually K9 listeners.
Yeah, y'all. What's up, y'all?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We will talk to you guys next week.
Wow.
You're
wrapping it up this time.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no. Take it away.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys in a week.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Nailed it.
I knew you were going to say it. Hi, Fit. Are you cranky?